hopes up in real estate because everything can change overnight. Alright, so right now I'm working with a client who I've known for years. I practically grew up across the street from her. She knows I'm in real estate, and she recently reached out to me wanting to downsize from her current house. However, she's on the fence about whether she wants to buy a piece of land and build a house on it, or buy an existing house. So we're searching the market for both. But this morning she sent me a link to a piece of land that she really likes and asked if we could send an offer on it. So I'm writing up that offer right now, and later today I'm going to go out to the property to meet up with her and scope it out. Alright, so it's the next day. Our offer that we sent in last night was accepted. So right now I'm going back out to the property because there's a creek that runs by this property. My buyer wants me to go out and ask the neighbors if they've ever seen it flood. And I'm also going to do a more detailed inspection of that creek bank and see if there's any grass or foliage that's laying flat. That's a pretty good indicator that there's been flooding. Of course, I checked the FEMA flood maps, and this place is not in a flood zone, but that doesn't mean that it never floods. So I'm going to look for any evidence of that and see what I can find. Alright, so woke up this morning, got a text from my buyer. She wants to back out of the deal, which is totally cool with me. It happens every day in this business. As a realtor, you get used to it. At first, it can feel pretty devastating. You know, at the point at which you get something under contract, there's probably about a 50-50 chance whether it's going to close or not. There's a saying, don't count your chickens before they hatch, which is never more true than in real estate, because the deal is not over until everybody's closed and the funds have been transferred, and the deal can fall apart at any time up until that point. So I'm going to keep looking for other places for this client. Hopefully we can find something, and if we do, that'll probably be the next update. Hey. Hey man, got some bad news. Yeah, my buyer's wanting to back out. Just decided it wasn't going to be the right fit for what she was wanting.
Okay. This is...
Correct.
Yeah.
So I've sent her off the mutual release to sign, and I'll be sending it to you whenever I get it back.
Okay. Alright, well, sorry about that, man.
Yeah, it happens.
We'll do it again some other way.
There you go.
Alright, man. Talk to you later.
Yeah, he's cool about it. I've had that same conversation with some agents who didn't take it nearly as well, but as you can see, I mean, as realtors, we're used to it. Happens all the time, just part of the business. Alright, so it's a few days later. I think I found a place that my client likes. It's a home not too far from here on a few acres. Technically, right now it's a coming soon, which means it's not actively on the market and the seller's not allowing any showings. So right now I'm going to go do a covert mission to show up at the property and just try to film as much as I can while being as discreet as I can. But at the end of the day, I'm trying to bring them an offer to sell their house, so can't really be too mad. But technically I'm not allowed to be there, so see what happens. Hopefully there's nobody there. Hey. How's it going? You the owner? Okay, I just saw this is coming soon. I'm a realtor, just want to show up and kind of look around. So I need to get out of your way.
Oh, man, that's fine. Okay.
Sure, yeah, that'd be great.
driveway. It's not. She's not gonna list it till Monday.
Hey,
Derrick, seriously.
what?
Has your buyer even driven out there to try to buy it?
Yes. But yeah, I got a full ask offer for you. Closing costs split right down the middle. No home sale contingency.
Another agent had called too. This was so funny. So she wanted to see it tomorrow, and it's like, no, we can't do anything till Monday. So then she put like Monday afternoon, but then she changed it to Monday morning. She wanted to be the first person in to see it. But I'll be honest, I've never had anybody make an offer, like sight unseen.
But yeah, she just loves it, and it's right in the location where she's wanting to be. Fits the bill. You know, run it by your people. If they're not happy with it, you know, send us a counter.
They ended up making the listing active today.
Yeah, that's what I was calling about.
Because they had gotten your offer, which was great. And then we put all these shows scheduled for Monday. So the seller says, well, I feel bad that those people don't get to see it. And I said, well, she said not to post it, and, you know, not to make it active till Monday. And she said, well, I think we need to make it active tomorrow. And I had all the photographs. I just hadn't uploaded them all yet. And so we made it, we made it active for today. So all offers to be submitted by 6 p.m. tomorrow. So I know you tried to get in ahead of time, but now that it's active, and so not that I haven't gotten anything else, but it's been it's like there's when I pulled up to fix the lockbox, there were 6 cars in the driveway. I will tell you that the only way that they would pay closing costs is if it was over the list price.
All right, thank you. Bye-bye. I can't believe this. So you heard that conversation. So their original plan was for this house to hit the market on Monday. Well, I was able to get in almost a week early and see the place before any other agent, and we submitted an offer early so that way we wouldn't be competing with a ton of other offers. And so basically what they did is they set the listing active today, and now they're saying all offers due by tomorrow at 6 p.m. And so basically what that did is that just made it a bidding war, which is what we were trying to avoid by getting in early, submitting an offer early. And so that totally flipped the script, and we went from competing with no other offers for like 5 days until now competing with like several. The only people who can beat our offer now is somebody with no home sale contingency who can go higher on price than we can, or a cash offer. A cash offer can close a lot quicker, a lot less closing cost. Stressful, man, because you can think you got a solid deal for your client, and then the script totally flips on you, and now it's a whole different animal. Like I said, we may do an amendment to raise our asking price. And again, this is why I want to film this type of stuff for you guys, because you don't see this stuff on TV. This is what it's really like behind the scenes. This is why you never get your hopes up in real estate, because everything can change overnight. Alright, so it's the next day. Me and my buyer formulated a plan. This is going to give you an example of how crazy the market is right now. We're going to offer $19,000 over asking price, and we're still probably going to lose out on it. There's been so much interest on this house. My buyer drove out there yesterday evening just to kind of scope it out. There were so many people there, she couldn't even pull in the driveway. So with that much interest, I guarantee they're getting cash offers. $19,000 over asking price. I'm writing up the addendum right now. I'm going to send it off to my buyer to sign and then send it to the listing agent. The sellers are going to review all offers tomorrow morning. So unless something crazy happens today, the next update will be tomorrow. It's the next morning. The sellers are probably looking over all the offers as I speak and just waiting for the phone call. You know, deep down, I know what phone call I'm going to get. And not to say that we didn't send in a strong offer. We sent in a really strong offer. 19 grand over asking price. Just have to wait and see what happens. I just got an email from the listing agent. She said, the seller truly appreciates your offer, but unfortunately they've decided to go with another offer, which is just as I predicted. When I see that much attention on a home, the sellers are gonna only accept the perfect offer. But me and my client can walk away with our heads held high. We went above and beyond. I was the very first realtor to set foot on the property. I was the only realtor who got a personal tour from the seller, and we were the very first ones to submit an offer. And our final offer was a strong offer, almost $20,000 over asking price, and still didn't work out. It's a bummer, but we did everything we could do and did it before anybody else. So no shame in that. But here's something that I've learned in real estate, is that usually what seems like a disaster ends up being a blessing in disguise one way or the other. So I'm getting ready to tell my client, unfortunately we didn't get it, but as I tell all of them, when a deal falls apart, there's always more homes out there. You're probably going to end up finding something that suits you even better than this did. I have a good feeling by the time it's said and done, we'll find something even better. Alright, well that didn't take long. It's literally 30 minutes later. I'm already heading out to go do another showing for this client. You know you got a motivated buyer when one deal doesn't work out, and then 30 minutes later you're already in the car on the way to another showing. It is under $200,000, which is definitely cash offer territory. We know this place has gotten a lot of showings and it's going to get multiple offers, and I guarantee some of those are going to be cash offers. Our only advantage over cash offers is to go higher on price, but they priced this place right at the max of the comp range. So if we offer much higher on price than what it's listed at, there's a really good chance that it won't appraise for that. And if that does happen, then we could always renegotiate and my buyer could get it at a lower price. But are they going to accept an offer that's likely not going to appraise? So this one's a little bit tricky. After some discussion with my buyer, we are going to offer several grand over the list price. So I'm getting ready to go write up an offer right now and send it in. And we should be hearing something back in a day or two. Alright, it's the next morning. We submitted our offer yesterday, and since then I've confirmed that they've received multiple offers and the sellers are deciding which offer they're going to accept as I speak. So at this point it's just a waiting game, and believe me when I say the waiting can be nerve-wracking. When you find the perfect place for your client and you know you're competing against multiple other offers and you have no idea what the other offers are, the anticipation is killer. But I feel confident in that we submitted a strong offer. We went several grand over asking price, and the price we offered, you know, this place isn't going to appraise for that. So I don't think anybody's beating us on price, but somebody could beat us on closing time with a cash offer. And depending on what the sellers decide, this could either be the end of a several month-long search, or it could put us back to square one and there's no in between. So I'm just nervously waiting to hear back from this listing agent. Just got a text from the listing agent. He said, we have a counter offer coming your way, which is really good news. That means that they're seriously considering it. There's just a few minor tweaks they want to make to the offer, which I bet anything it has to do with that price. Alright, just received the counter offer. I'm looking over it right now. Okay, so basically what they're saying is, in the event that it doesn't appraise for what we offered, I called it, I knew it was going to be something about the price. In the event that it doesn't appraise for what we offered, they're asking my buyer to pay a few grand over the appraised value, which I think my buyer's going to go for it. Like I said, she loves this place. It's exactly what she's looking for, so I think she'd be willing to make that deal. I'm going to run this counter offer by her right now and see what she says. Alright, so my buyer's good with it as long as we can confirm that the appliances remain, which on the MLS it says they do, but I'm going to call this listing agent just to confirm that, and sounds like we got a deal. Hey,
good morning. How you doing?
Pretty good. How about you?
We're doing well.
All right, so sounds like we got a deal. Just a couple of things I want to confirm. The refrigerator and the washer and dryer do stay, correct?
Yes, that's correct.
Okay. She also asked if the Berkey water filter stays.
Was it there? I was there last night. I'm trying to remember. I love those two. Trust me, I want one too. Okay. I think it's on the truck in New Mexico right now.
Is it? Okay. All right. I don't think that's going to be a deal breaker, but she was just asking. And the kitchen island chairs.
Yes,
okay. Perfect. All right. So minus the water filter, which I don't, like I said, that's not going to be a deal breaker. We got a deal. So I'll get this signed and sent back over to you.
Fantastic. I want to make sure. Is that crystal clear on that appraised value?
Yeah, she's willing to come out of pocket in the case that it doesn't appraise. She's fine with that.
Fantastic. Hey, really appreciate the opportunity to work with you. I look forward to receiving that, and we can chat about the schedule and so forth Monday.
Yeah.
Early next week.
You have a good weekend.
Hey, thank you so much. We greatly appreciate it.
All right, bye-bye. Yes. We beat multiple offers, and I guarantee there were some cash offers in there. We just got the inspection report back, and this is the best inspection report I've ever seen. The inspector only noted 4 recommended repairs, which are extremely minor. I've literally seen inspection reports for brand new construction houses that had more recommended repairs than this does. So once we get the inspection report back, typically what happens from here is once we've agreed on the repairs that we're going to ask the seller to make, I write those up on a repair replace proposal, which is what it sounds like. It's a list of repairs that we're proposing that the seller make, and then I send that off to the listing agent, and they can either agree to the repairs or send us a counter proposal, and then from there we usually negotiate back and forth until everybody's come to an agreement on what the seller is going to fix. Then we write up that list of repairs on a repair replace amendment, which is the final document that states everything the seller is going to fix. However, this time, just because there's so few repairs that need to be made, I'm going to go ahead and write up the list of repairs on the repair replace amendment, and then from there send it to everybody to sign, and we can move forward. So we're a few days out from our scheduled closing date, and we've hit a bit of a delay, albeit a predictable delay. Because my buyer has agreed to pay a few grand over whatever this place appraises for, we won't know the actual final sales price until we get that appraisal back. And because of COVID and because of record low interest rates right now, most appraisers are backed up for weeks, and our appraisal is scheduled to take place only a couple of days before our actual closing date. So there's no way we're going to be able to close on that day. We've all agreed to delay the closing a couple of weeks just in case it takes a while for that appraiser to get the report back to us, and then the lender has to process it based on that final sales price. So all that combined, it could take an additional couple weeks to close, and I'm sure the sellers aren't thrilled to be delaying the closing that long, but it was their idea to structure the deal this way, so it's kind of on them.
That was not my fault.
Delaying the closing is really common because when you schedule that closing date, you're scheduling it a month in advance, and a lot of stuff can happen in a month in real estate. Like I said, our appraisal is scheduled a couple of days from now, so hopefully we'll get that report back soon. And as long as nothing disastrous happens after that, then we should be closing shortly after, and the next update will be a week or two in the future. Alright, just got some good news. I thought it was going to be a week or two in the future, but it's only been like 3 or 4 days, and we already got the appraisal report back. It came in right where we wanted it. It actually came in a little under the list price, which means that even with my buyer paying a few grand over the appraised value, she's still getting it for several grand under $200,000, which was the goal. So now that we know the final sales price, I'm going to write up an amendment stating that that is the final price, and send it to everybody to sign. And once I've got everybody's signature, I'm going to send that off to the lender and the title company, and we can officially set a closing date. So I'm here at the house. It's the day before closing, hopefully, and I'm dropping off some closing gifts. Got a little thing of flowers. I've got a welcome home card. And this is a staple closing gift I give to all buyers. And this is something new that I've started adding as a closing gift, a confetti cannon, just something that's a little celebratory gift. You know, as far as closing gifts go, you don't have to get anything over the top, but at least get a card or something to show your appreciation. I've had several clients tell me that when they bought and sold homes with other realtors, they never got a closing gift. And I think that just shows minimal effort on the agent's part. Like, if you can't go to the trouble to at least get your clients a card, then your clients are going to want to close with me because I'm going to get them some cool stuff. Remember how I said that as long as nothing disastrous happens, we should be closing shortly? So it's the day before closing, and I just got an email from our lender. There was some miscommunication on the lender's side, and they processed the deal and sent it to underwriting with the assumption that there's a home sale contingency, which there's not. So here's what that means is we're not going to be able to close tomorrow, and the file has to be resubmitted to underwriting without that home sale contingency, and then it has to be approved again by the underwriter, and then at that point we can schedule a closing date, and that process could take several days. So now I have to call the listing agent, tell him, hey, we're not closing tomorrow. The lender messed up. The file has to be resubmitted. We have no idea when we're going to close now. It's just a freaking disaster at this point. All right, it's a couple days later. Looks like everything's been straightened out. The lender has resubmitted the file to underwriting without the home sale contingency. We did get the clear to close today, thank goodness. Sounds like as long as nothing else messes up, we should be closing on Monday. Fingers crossed there's no more surprises, and we can wrap this one up on Monday. All right, I just went to my office to pick up my commission check, took it to the bank to cash it so I can show you guys. So the sales price on this home was $194,800, and with the typical 3% commission, that totals $5,844. And then my office takes out their 20%. So my total take home is $4,675.20. Everybody's happy, everybody got what they want, and that's what's most important at the end of a deal. So I'm getting ready to go make a deposit, and it's on to the next one.